I'm Kristen.
And I'm Carol.
Today we are talking to Lauren Pratt.
Hi.
Hi,
Thank you for
Lauren.
having me, you guys.
We're excited.
M Pratt.
M
In the
Pratt.
professional world.
Yes.
Okay.
Lauren, if she's your friend.
Lauren.
Otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
How exciting.
I know.
And you are a writer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And a super brainy editor.
And a super brainy editor.
Yes.
Yes.
Carol's words, not mine.
Oh, well, but
they are good words.
Yeah,
they are good words.
True.
Very
It's
praiseworthy.
It's true. I couldn't do what you do. I just make shit up. It's like lying all the time.
I can't do what you do. That's what makes us such a good pairing.
Full. Oh my God. Go, Kristen.
All right.
You run the show, or else we'll just sit here and yak.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
Why don't you give us a little synopsis of yourself?
Oh, okay.
It puts you on the spot.
I kind of fell into the writing and editing industry at a weird sort of, I went to college for psychology and I was like, great, I wanted to become a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something down that road. And then I ended up writing a book, a romance novel at 24, and just kind of fell in love with the industry and the editing process. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And so I tell people all the time, the psychology degree has been put to good use, right? Because if you're building storylines and creating characters, it's good to have a psych degree for that. Why are people motivated to do the things they do? But it was not the original path it's not like I knew from the age of 10 that I wanted to be a writer. So kind of fell into it and then loved it. And then my first editor on Take Heart, she was like, hey, I'm looking for an editorial assistant. Would you be interested in the position? And I said, absolutely. And then she kind of taught me the ropes on the editing side. And then I worked, for 529 Books for many years.
A long time.
Yeah, a long time. And now I'm working for Emston Media. So I edit crime fiction novels for them right now. And then I write on the side, and Carol and I write on the side as a duo.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So what's the name of your first book?
Well, it was originally titled Take Heart. It's now Chasing Mia. And then the second one, which is a companion novel, is Catching Raven.
I was bringing my copy. I cannot find what I did with it because I carry it with me everywhere. If I get stuck someplace, that's what I read, is Catching Raven, because it's just one of my favorite books.
I love that one.
I looked through the car. I'm like, where the hell did I put that thing? I looked through my bookshelf. I can't find it. It's got such a beautiful cover too. I was going to flash it.
Yes. So the cover, Sarah did a phenomenal job on the cover. I have to say.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yes.
Sarah did my captive cover and my vantage cover.
Yep.
Is that the only work she's done for us?
And Solstice. She did our Solstice cover.
She did our Solstice cover. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right here. Our Solstice cover.
Woo! Look how beautiful that looks.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's got the gray bar across the top because it's my
not for resale, the proof copy. Yeah.
Yes. And we had a new author or a new cover artist for our Purgatory cover, which is so
kick-ass. Oh, it's so good.
Look at your pretty cover. Look at what you do.
Thank you, Tatiana.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And she'll do our legacy cover. That's our third book.
Yeah.
Is in this series that we need to kick it in the ass and get that going.
You do.
We have time on top of all the other crap we have to do.
I know. We're about to have some more free time though. So that should be, we'll be able to jump right back into that and pick up where we left off.
Yeah, we'll get it kicked out.
Awesome.
March 15th.
We just got to remember who our characters are, right? No big deal. What were the plot lines?
Yep. We've got to get reading through these two books so that we can remember everything when we went back to Purgatory.
Yep.
A lot of Solstice.
Oh, how funny.
It was fun.
But you figured it out.
We had to read.
I've read both of them. So you didn't make anything up in Purgatory.
No.
It followed Solstice.
Oh.
We didn't. You made everything up, I guess. But
we didn't screw anything.
Right.
We tried to.
But then we caught it.
I'm sorry.
No. After it had been edited, we got going through it. You tell this because it's your interview. I'm sorry. Go.
No, you're fine.
Nope.
Yeah, we got the copy back and we found I get head hopped is what it's called, where you think you're inside one character's head and you're supposed to be writing from that point of view, and then you accidentally switch to the other character in the scene, and now you're in their head. That's called head hopping in the industry. And so there was a major head hop for 2.5 pages, and
Yep. That was
yeah,
her.
no one caught it until after edits, and then Carol had set something up for the Midnight Order specifically, and
Through the
how
whole
they
book.
want Beatrix, and yeah, and then there was a major inconsistency. She had wrote one thing, and then she had wrote the complete antithesis, like at the end of the book, and the
Yeah.
editor never caught it and was like,
No.
yeah, and it's
Oh no.
Village, but I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, like that
Oh my
was
God. And it's
big,
still, I'm like, oh my
yeah.
God, I can't believe we could have published that, and
Oh,
what a
yeah.
mess.
Yep, yep. This
What a
is
mess.
why it takes multiple sets of eyes. This is why I
Yeah.
always say, like, you need multiple sets of eyes on a book to get it to where
Yeah.
it needs to be.
I mean, editors, nobody wants to have them, but everybody needs them.
Yes,
I
correct.
hate it. I hate editing, and you know how I feel about editing. I hate every bit of it, but we'll do it. We'll do it because I mean,
Yep.
my one paragraph negated everything I'd written for 2 books.
Yeah.
And it's
And
stupid. I have no idea why I did that.
yes,
And
exactly.
Lauren told me to go back and read whatever chapter that was and look for the mistake. And I mean, like that,
Yeah.
it went from like he to she. I can't remember
Mm.
what it was exactly, but it was
a scene between Vala and Jameson. I was supposed to be in
yeah,
Vala's head and I went into Jameson's.
yeah, just like
Yeah.
within one
Within one piece of dialogue, I totally
yep.
went to changed
Yep.
perspectives. Yeah.
And you caught it. And I mean, I caught mine when we were on the phone. You're on your computer, I'm on mine, of course, and we're going
Yep.
through the text, and I'm like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
That is wrong. Every bit of
Yeah.
that is wrong.
Yes. Yes.
But you got it corrected before it went out there.
We did, but it makes you sweat.
Yeah, it does make you sweat. I mean, it really makes you sweat. Yeah, because I'm like, oh, that would have been 2 really big oopsies.
Really
Readers
bad.
would have been like, what the hell? They're picking this up and reading this, and what the heck? Yeah. So it's not what was established at the start of the book. Yeah.
Right. At all.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes.
But it was caught.
We caught it after we paid the editor.
I mean, you could ask for some money back.
Well,
excuse me, I did part of your job.
Yeah. 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 That's a conversation for a whole nother podcast.
Oh,
yeah. That's the end of the business that Lauren handles for us because
yeah,
she's so much more diplomatic and cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about cool. I'm slightly more diplomatic, and I think that helps
It does.
It's also a really weird industry to work in. Like the whole industry, it's just very strange, and like there's great perks about it. Don't get me wrong, but there's just like things that would not fly in the corporate world, fly in this sort of industry. And I tell Carol all the time, there's so much bullshit industry.
And there is. And you run into it and there's no smooth sailing. I mean,
yeah.
At all.
And so many like potholes, which is to be expected, and so many things you have to look out for. And people can be very fickle in this industry because they're creative types. We love our creative types, but I find people in this industry are just more fickle. They're not as good with whatever, like deadlines, communication, all those types of things.
Oh my God.
And so you kind of got to like weed through and like find your people, find your tribe, and stick with those people.
Hang on to them. Yeah, for sure. Because otherwise, I mean, but you have to go through people and you're like, okay, yeah, I can't work like this.
Yeah.
No matter how much you may like them or appreciate their work, you just can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not worth losing sleep over.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I will never let her go. Because never.
Well, no, I mean, you guys are stuck together at least for another book.
Oh my God.
I'm waiting on busy
for the rest of our lives.
I'm just that too. All of the books you guys want to write together, I will read.
Yes. And thank you, by the way, for your contributions on proofreading those books. I know you've Carol, so you're in on this too, Kristen.
I love to read. So anytime you need
an extra
my teachers also. So if you ever need a grammar editor, you give me a call.
I will. I definitely will. Absolutely.
That's all I edit for is grammar.
Yeah.
I
don't.
No, she doesn't want to be a developmental editor, much like we discussed.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
That's a very specific skill set for a very specific type of editor. And yeah.
Yeah, no, not. I don't want that.
Yes.
Chasing Mia and Catching Raven, are they available?
Yes, you can find them on Amazon. And actually, you can find them on Amazon, Google Books, you can find them on iBooks, and you can find them on like Barnes and Noble online. So it should be ebook and paperback, both available.
Oh, fantastic. All
Yeah.
right.
Definitely.
And I will have them linked in the description also.
Thank you.
So
Definitely
and
worthy
check 'em
reads.
out.
They're
I
so
know.
good. They're
I'm gonna have to.
I can't tell you how many times I've read Catching Raven
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
That
So-
one's the better of the two. Like, as the person who wrote them, like, Chasing Me is like I tell Carol all the time, it's like, it's a debut novel. Like, it's not the most well-written, wonderful piece of literature you're ever going to lay your eyes on.
I think it's fantastic. We all have debut novels, and I think it's fantastic.
Exactly. And I'm like, but you know, the whole point is to grow and get better. Like, that's the entire point. And I think with each subsequent book that I've written, I'm getting better and better. And so it's like, that's really, at the end of the day, to me, that's what's important.
Exactly.
So I'm like, if you can make it through Chasing Me, Catching Raven is, I love that book still to this day. Yeah,
Awesome.
it holds up for me anyway. And yeah, and then of course Solstice and Purgatory, got to go into those right afterward.
Yeah.
So is Chasing Mia and Catching Raven, are they independent of each other or is it part of a series?
They're companion novels, so they're not sequels. You can read them out of order. I wrote Chasing Mia first, so most people like to start with that one, but you don't need to read them in any certain type of order. But it's the same sort of, basically the side characters in Chasing Mia get their own novel, which is Catching Raven. So
okay.
Yep.
So it's the same sort of sets of characters in both books, but you know, we're focusing on one couple for one and then a different couple for the second one.
The cover is beautiful. I'm going to find it.
Well, yeah.
I don't have my freaking
Stunning.
copy. I couldn't believe it. I've been looking everywhere for that, and I'm just shit.
And so you were in college.
Yes.
You wrote. What made you decide to write a book?
I had always really enjoyed creative writing and in high school and stuff. It was sort of an outlet for me. And I actually, funnily enough, actually started with poetry and in high school and stuff. I would say that was what I gravitated towards more so than fiction novels or anything else. And I just really, really loved it as a hobby but never considered like majoring in it or even really going into the industry in a serious way. Like even when I wrote it and was publishing, I was like, yeah, this is like a fun sort of side. I still wasn't, it wasn't until I found like I was taught the editing skill set that it really became like, okay, I can make money in this industry. I still can't make money right now as an author. It's so difficult to make money, especially as a self-published author, but really as any author, it's so hard in this industry. So I joked and I'm like, well, if I can't get paid to write a book, then I'm going to get paid to read and edit a book. And that was
awesome.
So I sort of manifested it that way. So.
And how long have you been editing and?
Like 7 or 8 years, I think.
Oh, awesome.
8 years. I think we're going on 8. Yeah, I started picking up the skill set shortly after Catching Raven was published, and that was in like 2017, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 2016. That was in 2016.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been close to a decade. I'm closer to a decade than not, is how I remember it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You still looking?
Yes.
Was that not it?
No.
Oh.
No.
I saw Raven.
Yes. This is all these. There are so many
titles that have the word Raven in it. Yep.
I'm gonna find the damn thing. It's just driving me crazy.
You will.
You
will. And before this goes up, I will have it linked. So
yes.
That's the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was paying attention to you.
You do your thing. I'm trying to. I don't know why. Is it Lauren Michelle or is it M Pratt?
Okay, so good thing Carol brought this up. So the romances are under Lauren Michelle. Yes. And then for the stuff with Carol and I, because it's a completely different genre and a completely different type of, like work, I decided to do M Pratt. So I technically have 2 author names. Any romances you'll find under Lauren Michelle, and then anything else that's, like thriller / paraplay or normal fan, any of that will be under
Found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Let me get this pulled up here. Sorry, I was very.
It's like dual.
No.
I was very excited that I found it. I don't know. Help me. Can't get it to show up there. Very good. It's. I mean,
the glare on it.
Yeah, the glare on it is.
The glare on it, but you know, if you link them, they'll get to see. Yeah, it'll be. It's when you link them, it should show up at least.
It will. It'll show up.
It's still under Lauren Michelle Smith.
Well, maybe. So this is what sucks.
Oh no, one's on. Okay.
You get what's happening there. Yes.
I see it now. I was like, oh, they want $49.90 and $4 to ship it.
Yes, that's third party. Yes, that's the third party copy that we have nothing to do with. I promise you pay thousands of dollars for those books. It's like they're like $3.99 on Kindle and I think $14 on
Yep.
On
that's
Amazon.
what it is. That's what it is.
Wow.
I mean, as soon as I saw the $49.50, I thought, that's.
It's a little high. Like Lauren wouldn't, charge $45 for like a 300-page paperback.
I don't know why not.
It must be very
good. You know, I mean,
go for it.
So good.
Yes.
$50. No. I mean, it is so good. I've read that book 100 times.
You've never told me the title.
I have to. Yes, ma'am.
No,
you're full of shit.
I promise you haven't.
No, I have to.
But I'm gonna read it too.
You're gonna have to.
I'm gonna read both.
If I could find my copy, you would have.
I'm gonna like Mia just as much as I like Raven.
I bet so. Yeah.
You just keep talking about Raven. You didn't mention Mia.
Well, it used to have a different title.
Yes, that's
all right. I'll give you that.
So you know what? I know stuff.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right. I want to know how do you like get in that mindset? Do you have any rituals or
writing?
Yes.
Do you go smoke some weed?
Do you?
Not anymore. Not. we save that for special occasions now.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah.
But
and she pulls up to the computer. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Just I cry my tears of bourbon.
There you are.
Bare my soul and I really the two things that I get inspiration from more than anything else I would say is reading other people's really good work makes me, it's like, oh shit, that's good. You know what I mean? Like now I want to go out there and not copy by any means, but like it inspires you to go do something really, like creative and great. And like, I want to make other readers feel how that person just made me feel, when I read their book. Yeah. And so reading other people's books helps me. And then music, which I know Carol is like she can't have any kind of music or any kind of sound in the background. It's too distracting, but I swear by music when I'm writing and editing, oddly enough.
Also, anything in particular or?
No, the playlist is super eclectic. Like
I love it.
Find everything from pop on there to like 80s rock to Swedish rap. I mean, it's like
I love that. Yep.
Metal.
There's some Celtic music on there. We got some. A little bit of everything. We got some Celtic music on there, some bagpipes if you're really feeling, if you're feeling particularly randy,
there you are.
And you get your bagpipes and
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So do you see a difference between a writer and an author?
Yes, because I would say the distinction for me is like ghostwriters, for example, right? Like they're hired, contractually obligated to write a book, but they are not the author of the book, if that makes sense. Even though they wrote it, like they don't get cover credit often, they don't get recognized at all. Really, that's the whole point, right? Like you are the ghost behind the product. So I would say, yes, to me, there is a difference between a writer and an author. And there's also people who love to write that aren't published. So, and that's like another sort of, I would not consider those people authors.
Right.
If they've written a bunch of stuff, but it's not published for consumption, then I would say, then you're a writer to me. That's just my definition. But yeah.
And she doesn't mean sales for authors because that doesn't have.
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say. You know, if it's published and it's out there, you know, people are like, oh, have you made millions? No, not yet.
No, but you're still an author. Like it's to
You're
me, it's
working
like
out.
if
Yeah.
you wrote
Your name
the
is
work,
on that book and it's available.
yes, if you wrote the work and you published it, like to me, that is like that's what I would classify as an author.
And so
It
you're
probably doesn't
definitely an
match up with
author.
everyone's. I'm sure it doesn't match up with everyone's definitions. I know there's people who hire ghostwriters who love to claim that they are authors, but I'm like, okay, but you didn't write that content. Like I understand you paid for that book to come to fruition, but you didn't put in the work yourself. Like you put, you know, wrote a check and someone else took care of it. But
Yeah.
so I know there's people like sometimes ghostwriters consider themselves, you know, or like the people who they're ghostwriting for, I should say, like the client that the ghostwriter is dealing with. I have heard on more than one occasion, they'll refer to themselves as an author. And I politely disagree.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Too bad there's not some kind of note on the books like, hey, here's my name, but this isn't my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
exactly.
that's a really big industry right now, unfortunately.
It's a huge industry right
make
now.
sense to me.
Right. It doesn't. Yeah,
if you want to be an author, write some words.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I get everyone probably feels like they have a story that they want to tell. And some people don't feel like they're good enough, whatever it is. Like there's something holding them back. They either don't have the time to do it, or it's like, hey, I'd really like my life story out there, but I really don't know where to begin. And I get all that. There's like coaching and mentors and developmental editors and people who can sort of help you along the way. But, you know, a lot of people just, like I said, for whatever their reasons, it's just easier for them to cut a check and have somebody else tell their life story with their input.
I need to figure out, I'm a social worker. I want to figure out how to make that work in my career. I would like a ghost social worker to do the work for me and stick my name up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I have a new mission in life.
Well, I mean, you know, for the right price, I'm sure you'll have a line out the door.
Maybe. I bet.
No doubt. I wouldn't take your job for anything in the world, not for love or money. Way in hell.
And I love my job. I love it. I don't see myself ever doing anything else. However, it would be nice to have somebody behind me that goes, listen, I got this problem.
Yeah.
Put your name on it. We're good.
Yeah, hats off to you, because social work is a really tough career path. It's super underappreciated. And yeah, so hats off.
It's not this though. I mean, this is your guys' work is there's so many different I walk into an office, I read paper, and I make decisions. And you guys are like, okay, I have to do this, and then this person, and then there's so many.
Your brain is just as busy as mine, and just as busy as Lauren's to do it, no problem.
Yep.
You just got to have lots of thought going all the time, and then you kick it out on paper, and then you're like, whoop, now I'm done with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Done. Do you celebrate any certain way when it's done?
We should, but no. I did after the first one, because it was fun. Everything was fresh and new. And I always tell Carol, like we were glowy and excited and young and brain and naive and sort of, first book, and you're really in a good
learn a lot.
Yeah, you learn a lot, but also it's more like when I got my very first cover, there's nothing like once you've had it, it's like, okay, you kind of it loses its luster a little bit, because
that's sad.
I know, but but I feel like, as you learn more and you go through so many, like potholes in the industry, and you go through all these obstacles and you learn all these lessons, and you're working on your craft to get better. It's like just over time, the more books you publish, it's not so like fun and shiny like it was the first time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's still great. Every time you launch a book, that always feels cathartic to me. It's like I get really excited for the release and whatnot, and for readers and I still get nervous. I'm like, are they going to like it? Are they not? But in terms of like, oh my God, I published a book. Like that goes away over time. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you find the pitfalls and the aggravation and the pacing floor and making new friends and meeting new people and being, so much crap, good and
Yeah.
bad.
Yes, exactly. We talk about it all the time. We have such a love-hate relationship with this industry, Carol and
Really,
I. It's
really
like there's
do.
so many wonderful, beautiful things, like creating art with another person, like not to sound
Right.
like schmaltzy over here, but it's like
Mhm.
most people can't understand what that's like, what that process is like. Like both it can be like even, creative differences and getting tumultuous or like, but still you're creating like this beautiful, like creating art with someone is just a very personal experience. Like
And
in
it's so
some
much
ways,
fun. So much fun.
and like in
Like,
some ways, the person you're creating it with, like they know a version of you better than anyone else, like better than your husband, your kids, your parents. Like they know a certain side to you that most other people do not get to see just because of, so I feel like I know Carol, a certain side to Carol that probably most other, and vice versa. Like she
yeah.
knows like a very personal, intimate, like art creating side to me that
Mhm.
most people have never, just because of the circumstances, because
Right.
Right.
Because
yeah,
we write together. We write separately
exactly.
and we write together.
Exactly. And you're creating these characters together and you're like, it can be like a very emotional process. Lots of, highs and lows, which is normal when you're creating art with someone, in a weird way, it's kind of like a marriage.
It really
In a
is.
way, I'm married to Carol.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Lucky me.
Yes, yes,
Lucky
yes.
me. I'm
Yeah.
odd. So I write the first chapter and I send it
Yep.
off to Lauren. And she said, I get to read what she wrote. And then I'm like, oh, and I get all kinds of ideas from her stuff because it's so slick and it's so smart. And it's great. And then I write my chapter 3. I mean, we kind of try to plan it out, but we don't ever end up we kind of end up where we were going, but not the way we
Not
planned to
really.
be there.
Yeah, this is why we don't outline. Carol and I are
I
not
know.
outliners. Most
Oh,
writers probably disagree with that, but Carol and I are not outliners. Because I always say, like, I tried outlining legitimately one time and I deviated so far from that outline. Like when the
mhm.
final product was finished, that I was like, what was the point? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, why did I just go
right.
invest all of that time into doing that only for the book? The characters kind of, when you're really in the flow of writing a book, you don't need to follow an outline because the characters, as weird as this sounds, they
No,
will write that story for you.
they
Like
do.
it's like
They
when they
do.
have their own defined personalities, it's so obvious like how they will react, like what they will say. And that sort of helps carry you. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of
Right.
what I think the flow is when writing. Like when people are like, are you in flow? To me, that's when the
Hmm.
characters are writing the book for me and I'm just trying to keep up. As opposed to me going, okay, well, what comes next? And me
On
sort of being
paper.
the
Yeah.
driving
You
force of
can't, I
yes.
can't sit there and do this. I have to, my cleverness, my creativity comes out when I'm typing along and I'm like, oh my God, we should
Yes.
do this.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
where it comes from. Cleverness, I cannot sit there and go, I'm going to be clever now. Let me write,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
let me
yeah,
write this
yeah.
thing out. No,
Yes.
no,
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
it does not
You
work.
can't, can you schedule it?
Not for this girl.
You can't plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and
I'm
it's
sure there
just
are a lot of folks that can, but I can't.
yes. Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'll sit there and stare at that paper. It'll be blank for the rest of my freaking life.
Yeah.
I
It's
won't have it.
Maybe if
yeah.
you send an invite to cleverness, it will.
I know.
Okay.
It will
It's
not.
not going to be like
It
Zoom.
will not RSVP. It'll be like,
That's rude.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what it will
exactly.
be. That's
Yep.
what it will be.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
you said you had poetry. Do you think you'll ever publish any of it?
No, not at this point because I wrote it all when I was like 12 and 13 and it's not
Oh,
all
cool.
like we don't need to share those. We're not really adding anything to, it's
Right.
not groundbreaking. We're not reinventing the wheel. It's
It
not
might be. It
You
might
never
be.
know.
yeah, you
It,
never know. That's true. But I'm like, no,
you are
probably, yeah,
harder. You are harder
I,
on your writing than anybody I've ever known. Send it,
that's
man. I'll
true.
read it. Come on.
Yeah, I'll
you
send
could
it.
have
Yeah.
something that'll help another 12-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, there might be something to that. Like, oh, when you wrote it, when you were a teenager and in that headspace, in that time of life, then
Yeah.
people, yeah, there's something to that. So
Mhm.
who knows? But yeah, I had never planned to, and
Right.
but
Yeah, not a plan right now. Do you
yes.
have other books that you've
So
written that are just hanging out in cyberspace or
I have books that are half written that are just hanging out in cyberspace. Or like Carol and I, we had started like another series that we were going to
Yeah,
do
we
for
did.
Kindle Vella, and then we got too
Uh-huh.
busy with other stuff. But
Yeah,
she
we
and I
did.
have another series outside of Solstice and Purgatory that
Yep.
we had started, and we have like 10 chapters or something to that. I mean, it's really, I told Carol, I was like, we have to come
I have to
back to
get
that.
back to that.
That is good.
It
Yeah.
is. It's sexy and crazy and out of control. And
So fun.
that's what
Yeah.
you have to have.
Yes.
It just, I
Yeah.
mean, otherwise, if I don't write it like that, like you're just like, yeah, running
Right.
through the rain, it's not any damn good.
Yeah.
In mine is not. I mean, it has to move really fast. Not so
Yes.
fast that you lose it, but fast enough to make you go, oh my God, I gotta
Right.
read the next freaking page.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Carol is like very particular about her in a good way about pacing. Like she's like, I want people to feel like they're running down a hill at full speed. Like that's exactly what I want when people read my novels. She says that
Yeah,
all the time. She
I
wants
do
people
say
running
that.
downhill.
That's what it feels like, though, doesn't it? When you can't
Yes.
quite fast enough that you're like,
Yes.
oh my God, I'm going to lose this thought if I don't kick it out right now. And then you got to go back and fix all your spelling and stuff. But
Yes. Yeah. And then, it's like then hopefully it translates and the reader gets swept up in it the way that it was, and the way
well,
that you
that's what you fix is when I screw it up. You're like, Carol, this right here, it kind of
Yeah.
sucks. Shit, let's fix that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll find little things, or she'll be like, what did you mean here? Like, what was and I'm like, good point. This is why, even if you're a writer or an author, I strongly believe you need to hire an editor outside of, even if you do that for a living for yourself and for other
Yeah,
clients, like someone, you need another set of eyes on your book because the amount of time, I mean, I am not exempt from my own sort of like writers tend to have the same, they'll pull from like the same word bank or they'll have these sort of, I don't like flaws, if you will, or they'll have these sort of things like that they can't escape. Like mine is repetition. Like I will be too repetitive if someone is not flagging me and going like, okay, you just said this here, but in a different way, like right up top. Like we don't need both. We need
that's me.
all writers that not flaws. All writers have their bad habits. That's what I'm trying to say. Like every
Right.
writer has their bad habits. And I feel like you are too close to your own work
Yeah,
oftentimes to identify your bad habits. And so you need someone else, someone else's insight and someone else's notes. And I love the editing process. Carol, not so much, but I love watching a book go through the stages of like getting better and better. That excites me more than a launch is like when I see the book develop and getting like, yes, like, oh, the story's getting tighter, the pacing's getting faster, like it's more engaging. It's more like that is the stuff that excites me as a writer and as an editor.
she's more even than I am.
You're odd.
I hate it. I am
I
odd.
think a lot of writers hate it though. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's such a personal thing to put your art out there for like critique, and you have a very specific vision in your mind when you are the author or the writer of something, and
Mhm.
and like
And I
it's the
bet it's
editor's job to try
intimidating.
Well,
Like the editors are more intimidating
when
than
you
the general public
when you
because
have an editor who kicks you in the teeth,
that's
that
rude.
it
Fire
is.
them.
I did. Instead of being diplomatic and being like, okay, what did we mean here? You can get your point across without being an asshole. You can be kind about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah.
have 27 exclamation points about what were you thinking? Kiss my ass. What I was
Yeah.
thinking was obviously, let's edit this like professionals and we don't have to act like children.
Yeah,
And
finding the right editor is like dating someone. I mean, really, you have to,
yeah,
if you're looking for like the life part, or like a therapist, I say the same thing. When you're looking for a therapist, it's like dating someone. You have to like sift through, you have to find your person who is like meant for your sort of, and that
Right.
can,
And
you
I'm
got to
sure
weed through
it's
some people sometimes.
there has to be respect between the two. When someone doesn't respect you enough to be polite, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to say, okay, well, you're going to get mad if I bring this up. I mean, that's the risk you take, but you don't have to be horrible to your person.
Yeah.
And that was my experience,
Yeah.
when I had a really hard ass editor and he was just really in your face. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't do this. I hate this. I want to go throw up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, cut these 3 chapters out of the middle of your second book. I can't do that. You haven't read the whole book. You don't know that I need these 3 chapters. And that happened.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
remember, and it was horrible. It was like, okay, you know what? I have got to be done with these people,
Yeah.
because or this person, I guess he was, but it was just, that was my experience with my first book, which, was a good book. Wanderer
Yeah. That
was,
book kicks ass. Mm-hmm.
thank you.
It kicks
But,
ass so hard.
what's that?
I said it kicks ass so hard.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. That's when we met, was with
Yes.
our first books, because we were at the same agency.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And
That's how Carol and I met. And it was like, oh, and then we found out we were both Iowa girls. And it's like,
yes.
done.
That was it. It was it
Yeah.
because we're so similar. I remember when I was reading, Chasing Mia, which was Take Heart. That was the first
Yes.
title for it.
Correct.
Lisa had sent it to me because Lisa
Yep.
was your editor. She was my editor. She was
Yep.
VP of our agency, and she
Yep.
wanted to have her writers all know each other. So
Yes.
he sent me Take Heart, which is now Chasing Mia.
Yeah. And she sent me Wanderer. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm reading it and I'm like so irritated because I'm like, this is just how I speak. And I wish I had written this. I remember picking up Take Heart and I'm reading it and I'm like, I speak just like this. I sound just like this. I
Yeah.
had written this. And then we found out that we were Iowa girls and she had moved to Texas
Yep.
then.
Yep. I lived in Austin for a few years.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was still in Iowa. And then
Yep.
I moved to Oklahoma and then she moved back to Iowa.
Yep.
We just missed
And now I'm just waiting on Carol to get back here.
I know, right?
I know.
Listen, she's my partner too, so
Yeah, yeah.
we need to
we'll
be
share.
in the
We'll
same
share.
place for our venture to
Yes,
work.
yes, true. We'll share.
We all do.
So,
yeah, the next time we get done with a book, I'm going to travel so that we can go through it together in the same room because it'll be easier. I mean, and it was fine. All of working with Lauren is just like a freaking dream come true because there's nothing bad about it. It's professional. It's all fun. It's all sweet. It's all productive.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can't be anybody else's partner because you're mine.
No, definitely not.
In a whole different way.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll let you say that about her. She just can't say that about you.
No, but it is, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, even if it's just a weekend, we're gonna,
Yep.
and you have a little kid, and my kids are not little, and they don't need me and stuff like that. But
they'll always need you. They're just not little anymore.
Tell them that. Tell them that.
Yeah.
But we'll when we went through purgatory, it was just I'm like, you know what? All of this with finding our two big mistakes that we found where you head hopped and where I completely blew all of my other writing out of the water with my, contradiction, would just be in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And reading it out loud is a big deal.
Oh man, that is, I cannot tell writers or authors or even editors, like if you need to read a book out loud to really catch what's not going well with that in terms of the prose, or like there's things that you will be astonished at what you will catch if you read it out loud opposed to just silently in your head. It's a night and day difference. I mean, Carol and I read Purgatory out loud, and by that point we had read that book so many times in our head and just gone through so many PDF drafts, and we were reading it out loud and it's like, like, oh my God, that doesn't, no, that doesn't sound natural. Or we just this word 3 times on this page, like different word, like, and it's easy to miss those things when you're not reading it out loud.
Well, when you look at it, you're like, this, what you've meant for it to say. Right. And you tell yourself, that's what this says. I've already written that. And then you've left a word out, like, the word to or and or something. And then you're like, dude, if I read that out loud, it doesn't make any sense.
Yes, exactly. That also happens all the time, annoyingly. All the time.
For real.
Awesome. So kind of a ritual, I guess, having to read it out loud here. It's a very read in your head, read out loud.
Read out loud. It's a very good practice. Mm-hmm. And it matters. It makes a huge difference. And you might feel stupid sitting there in your in your room. Like, what about you? Will you do once we get there? That kind of thing. When you find that you're missing a word, if you're not reading it out loud, it doesn't come that way.
Yeah, exactly. So, it just at least and this is for if you write in Word, there's also a like a little icon that you can click on where it reads the book for you, like out loud. So like if people feel weird about it, you know what I mean? Because I get it. Like Carol said, if you're by yourself and you're reading out loud, you just like, it's hard not to be like, okay, I feel ridiculous. Like I'm really reading this entire book out loud to myself. But also that helps. Like, so if other writers or authors watching this are like, hey, I need a helpful tip but I don't want to read out loud, or if you're in a quiet setting where maybe you can't, like a library or something, wherever you do your work, it's like, okay, if you put on headphones and you hit that icon on Word, it will read the whole, it's got to be in Word. I don't know about other platforms that, like, I don't know if Google Docs has that, but
I haven't seen that.
That's very helpful. I do that when I edit books, is I use that feature. So that way I don't have to read them out loud. Especially when you have spicy sex scenes in your work, like Carol and I
You
do.
don't want to read those out loud at the library?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. It's like, okay, the book can be a little spicy. So it's like, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be, reading that out loud when so-and-so's grandma is 2 feet away from me,
Right. Or your kid is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they ask you what this word means or something, and you're like,
Yeah.
it means going for a walk. I mean, you can lie. I mean, I would lie.
Yeah.
Just gonna lie.
I would
lie to your children.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I co-sign that. No.
See, she's on board.
See, and I'm the opposite parent. Like,
she is.
Now, listen, I will tell you what this means. Are you sure you want to know? That is how we start every. Hey, Mom, what? I got you. I can tell you. Think about it, though. This is something you really want to know, and they will. They'll be like, yes,
no,
or
maybe.
No, I'll ask you again later.
Yeah.
Your oldest daughter and reading her sexy. She likes to read this. She's 18. She's 18.
She's 18 now, but she's been reading those since she's 15 or 16.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband's younger sister read Catching Raven when it came out, and she was like 16 at the time. And I was like, oh, this is a little bit uncomfortable. Love her to death. But I'm like, oh,
don't read my stuff. Don't read my
it's like, just need to, read that, like, sit on my face and write it.
That's Ainsley will not read. She's like, I kind of want to read Carol's books, but you said she writes that kind of stuff,
and she knows me.
I will never be able to look at her face again. And she has, she loves to read. She loves to read. I love to read.
That's who I wrote Trophy for, because I'm like, I need to write something
that she can,
that she can read that doesn't have sex in it.
So she'll be able to look at Carol.
Yeah,
that book is so good too.
It is. But I am not allowed to read any book she has read.
Because then you'll.
And I am not allowed to recommend any book with any kind of spicy sex, anything in it, because she's like, I'll never be able to look at your face again either. Right. And you didn't even write it. But if I know that you know what this says, we can't talk anymore.
No.
Yeah, it can make for an awkward room real quick.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Don't read my stuff. Don't read. Why not? I thought, Alex, when he was, I don't know, 14 or 15, whatever it was, he's like, well, I would like to read your book. You can't read my book. I don't care if I've been dead for 10 years. You can't read my books.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I don't want to hear it.
Nope. Yeah. You could go read Trophy. You know what I mean?
Please read Trophy and Villain. Did I ever finish that? The second book?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I don't think you had, because you were under there was an agency who was interested in Trophy, and I think you were, the part of the deal was you were finishing up Villain for them, but I'm not sure if you ever finished it. Okay. I know you didn't. Yeah.
We put it up on Vella, did we not?
We started putting it up on Vella, and we need to get back and finish putting it on Vella.
Okay. I totally lost track of.
Yeah. Well, the Innocent Daughter is on Vella as well.
I know, and I need to write more on that.
So when I was doing your interview, you have Immortal Sins.
That's ours.
That's ours.
But it doesn't open. It
doesn't open because we brought it down, because Carol and I had a chat that we are going to turn that into an actual book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So all right, if it's already been published, you can't put it on.
I know. I don't know why Amazon won't take that. It drives me nuts, because I'm like, it's misleading. It looks like it's still up there, and it's not. But yes, that Carol and I have talked about turning that into an actual book and publishing it together. So I'm like, okay, well, if we have to do that, you can't you got to kind of pick one or the other. You can't really do both. There's like certain parameters there. So it's like, okay. And we didn't have the whole book finished, not even close. We had like 8 or 9 chapters. So I was like, let's just pull the content, we'll go back to the drawing board, like revamp the beginning and put out an actual book with it. So that's the plan for that. Because as we were writing it, I was like, Carol, this is like really, like, this feels like it needs to be a book, like more so than like an episodic, than what I would say the Vella platform is, which feels much more like TV episodes in written form. And to me, Immortal Sins doesn't feel like TV episodes in written form. It feels like a book.
Awesome.
Right.
I like it.
Yes. And I need
Yeah.
to make another Innocent Daughter, whatever we're doing with that. I can't even remember where we were. I'll
Yeah.
have to go look at that. And what was the
Yep.
other one? Oh, Ancient Grudge. I started reading Ancient Grudge so that I could, because I know you're not done till the 15th of next month.
Yep.
Oh, maybe I can get this. Then I couldn't find it. Like I can't find Catching Raven. I put it someplace really safe.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
a dumbass. What? What are you looking at me like that for?
Whose
Yeah,
whose Ancient Grudge do you have?
yours.
Exactly. You can
Thanks.
find it.
You know what? Shut up.
That is my book.
It is her copy. I borrowed it like 2 years ago so that I could read
Yeah.
it because I
Probably
didn't have
not my copy anymore.
well,
No, don't worry. She'll get you another one. She knows someone. You know, she knows the gal.
I have a girl. I know
You got a girl.
a girl.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that cracks me up. The first time I heard Carol, I'll get you a copy. So I know, girl. You know, I know. I'm sure you do.
Yep. Thank God. Thank God. I would be nowhere without you. And that's legit. I would be nowhere. I wouldn't have a thing put out there under my name.
Well, I meant you for like
I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we work well together. Believe me, you pull your weight. Like she keeps me on track. She keeps me on deadlines. Yes.
And you're like, God, I hate this bitch. I wish I'd never met.
No. It's
how's that chapter coming? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although you didn't have to do that through purgatory.
No. You just kicked it. You're like, here's this chapter that's not very good. I'm like, oh my God, it's mind blowing. Shut up. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a rule when we collaborate together on something. It's like, okay, our goal is like, I think it's like every 5 or 7 days, or basically like you have 5 or 7 days to do a chapter, and then goes to the next person, and she gets to do it. It comes back to me, and so in Solstice, Lauren was not fantastic about keeping to the 5 to 7 day rule, which really frustrated Carol. And
Lauren doesn't trust herself enough to see how good her work is.
The editor in me sometimes takes over, and I just start like editing the page of like too much, where it's like, okay, now you need to learn to put on the writer hat and not the editor hat, and let that go, and then let someone else come in and do that. But it's really
is it hard to switch?
That's very hard for me to split. Yes. Yes.
That's why I can write it so fast, is because I don't have the editor brain. I'll write it, I'll read it, and I'll send it.
Yes, correct.
He's much more meticulous, and it's not that I don't give a shit about my work at all.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it for me, definitely it becomes counterproductive for sure. Like it's not, I mean, it's like, okay, you got to let it go. Like you got to trust the process, as Carol says, trust the process and just keep it going back and forth. And we'll fix it, make it all beautiful later, but we don't need to do that as we are writing it in real time.
And yeah, I mean, there was stuff I got back like the next day, and I was like, oh my God,
I was like, I'm operating on Carol time over here.
Hell yeah. She's kicking
out. Yeah, it was so
good.
And we were quick with that one.
Since we live so far apart, we're 6 hours apart. We'll be texting each other, hey, I had this idea, and we'll just like send a text before we forget, and then either I'll remember, she'll remember, and we're like, oh, we're gonna put this in because this sounds really good.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely fun and such a productive friendship and partnership.
Yes, absolutely.
We call each other and talk a bunch of shit for about 3 hours, and then
get to work.
Yeah.
And then we kick it out in our writing. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. You're in the middle of all this editing right now, and then we get back to writing. And so
and you just finished your ghost writing.
I did. I just sent it.
And who shall not be named, of course.
Yep.
Gotta stick to those contract rules. But yeah, she's been doing some ghostwriting, and I've been doing some editing, and our loads are about to lighten up considerably. And so we're like, we're going to jump back into it.
We're going to jump back into it. We got to come up with some kind of writing schedule. We've got to have like Legacy on Monday and Immortal Sins on Tuesday, and whatever the hell we're going to do, we'll figure something out and just let's keep us going, keep us moving.
Yes.
I want to know, whenever you do write, do you have like a dedicated space?
No,
Are we looking at it with the sailboat back there?
I know, I'm
us?
loving the sailboat.
I know it.
Yeah, we got like a little canvas back there, but no, not typically. I don't I usually just do it on my laptop, like on either on the couch in the living room or like on my bed because I do a lot of writing at night. I write better at night and I edit better during the day. I think because editing is more left brain and writing is more right brain. That's just my theory. They say like left brain activities are better to do in the morning. So because I'll be like curl up in my bed and I always have either a background show on or music and Ben is like how like this is how are you're writing this is on like and I'm like I don't know, it's a really chaotic system but no designated space really.
But you have your rituals, your things you have to have, your music. And
yes, definitely have my rituals.
Been going crazy and
yes, exactly. I like dim lighting and Friends or The Office on in the background very low, and then I'll have my music on my speakers. And I'm just like, okay, let's just read what Carol wrote and then kick it out,
Awesome. Yeah. It's so much fun. I can't stand it. I don't know how I'm going to write by myself ever again because it's just like, we got to wait for Lauren's chapter and then I can see where our story's going.
That does make it really fun. That part makes it very fun and spontaneous.
Yes.
We don't outline and we don't know. I mean, we talk ahead of time about like, how do we want the story to end? Like major plot points are discussed ahead of time. But in terms of like the
and then we change that.
Yeah, and all the like it's fun to see like like I didn't expect her to go that way and then I like respond, it's like okay, so now it keeps us on our toes, which is really so because often people will ask me like how do you even, if you don't outline and you're co-authoring, how do you even achieve that? And I'm like, well, we do every other chapter as opposed to like trying to blend all the material, like where we're both working on chapters.
I couldn't do
the same
that.
chapter, like we have to keep it split. And then she tends to write like more of a character than I. So like she'll write, I think she had almost exclusively all of Rhea in Purgatory and you had all of Trixie. I can't remember, but I had like Jameson and Vala almost exclusively throughout the whole book because other people are like, well, you have different writers' voices. So how do you like keep the tone between two writers? And I'm like, well, because we write from different characters' point of view.
And we're so similar.
We are very similar. Yes, our editor, one of our editors she was like, you guys, what did she say about us? Like your ability to like weave like slang and that basically our sense of humor and our style is so closely matched in terms of how we're sassy and yet sophisticated, but yet, we
throw our slang in there, we throw all of our proper usage in there, and then we'll throw some vulgarity in there because
you're like the perfect blend of like vulgarity, big words meets slang meets, and she's like, but it's both of you doing it in your chapters, and so I do think that helps. That it's
the Iowa girl. It is the Iowa girl. I'm telling you,
it is absolutely.
We love Iowa girlness.
I mean, I'm partial to Oklahoma, but whatever.
Yeah.
Iowa girls are pretty
girls
cool
rock too. Yeah.
No,
I have an appreciation, a fondness. I have a fondness.
Yeah.
I say I love things, and she's like, and I have a fondness.
Yes.
When we close our podcast out, and I'm like, love you, and she's like, and I have a fondness.
She loves you.
Yeah. She's such a dickhead. Just say I love you. She can't.
I have a fondness for you.
She doesn't want to do it.
She has a fondness. Yeah.
Yeah, suck it.
What's your favorite word? Like unusual word? Do you have a word that you put in every book or?
No, not really. It depends on the scene. There's some really good. I mean, I love like cacophony. And if we're going for vulgarity, I love the word fuck because it's so versatile.
That was my word.
Of that one, so it kind of depends. Like, but there's some that are just really and as weird as it sounds, I love the word fusion. Like I've never put it in a book, but just how it sounds to my ear is like fusion. And I'm like, I like how it sounds. I've never put it in a book. Or like whimsical is another fun, sort of like
all these
yes, there's all these antediluvian.
Yeah.
I would never put it in a book. But that's
I mean, you got to find a way.
We will just for you. Put it in there.
Yes.
It might be the title, but we'll fit it in there.
Whatever you got to do, get it there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not just using the word because it's a big word and we want to sound smart. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
That's a fine line.
We neither one can stand that. When you're reading a book, you're like, what the hell is this freaking? I've never heard this word before. And then you look it up and you're like, oh, that means catastrophe.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, we couldn't have used catastrophe. Yeah, exactly. It's to me that's just pretentious. I'm sure like highbrow people would disagree with me or whatever. There's a whole debate in that about like, oh, should you be using big vocab words? Like maybe people need to learn more. And it's like, no, but like you can just simplify it. Like it just and simplify it. You know what I mean? So
and I get it. Like fiction, you're reading for entertainment.
Yeah. Right. It's not a textbook.
We're not
reading for
to learn anything.
Not a dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. We're not reading.
If you wrote nonfiction, throw all those big words in there. They're trying to learn.
Exactly. They're trying to learn.
They're trying to learn anyway. And you have a son?
I do. Yeah, I have a 3-year-old.
I'm
sorry. He's young. Yeah.
I am so sorry about that.
He wrestles bears. He does. He wrestles bears. Ask him.
Yes, he does.
How exciting.
Yeah, he fractured a femur wrestling a bear. That's wrestling a bear, and this was in like April or something. Yeah, Ben and I were supposed to go on vacation. We were going to go to Montego Bay, and like 2 days before we fly out, this kid fractures his femur in our backyard, and
he's in like a body
cast,
and so we had to cancel the trip, and then
it was probably his own fault. I'd have gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a body cast. He ain't going nowhere. You don't have to worry about him.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't have that. Ben and I were both like, we don't have the heart to leave him. Like, if it was like, like 3 or 4 weeks into that cast, but it was 2 days after the fracture. And I was like, it's not worth it. And so Carol bought him this hilarious shirt that every time we went in to like have his his orthopedic stuff, or when they would like check, okay, like how, let's do x-rays on the bone, let's see how it's healing, I would always put him in the shirt that Carol bought him that said like I was wrestling a bear. Because they have this like huge spica cast. It's like a half body cast.
Yeah, it was big.
And so I'd always put that shirt on, and I'm like, we'll just field the questions. Like, it'll just answer everyone's questions before we even enter the premises. Everyone, what happened? He was fighting and he won.
And he was mad. And he was mad, the poor little squirt.
Yes, exactly. He was
bet. Oh, it's so little to.
I know. Right? Yeah. And running in the backyard. I was like, does he have osteoporosis? I mean, what happened? You would think like a fracture is like a freak fall or something, like that's the biggest bone in your leg. But no, just running in the backyard and tripped and fell the wrong way and fractured the feet. I heard it snap.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine it. Oh my God.
It sounds like he's destined for great things though.
Yeah. I mean, he healed in no time. That was what was crazy to me. I mean, that bone was fully healed in 4 weeks. They took they made him wait an extra 2 weeks before they took the cast off, just because they're like,
just to torture him, so he won't.
No, because they're like, he would need to mind the leg, and they're like, he's 3, he's not going to mind the leg.
Yeah.
So they kept it on.
You learned your lesson, young man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna make you suffer for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Running ever again.
Once you think about the way you made me feel.
Yes, exactly. Think about what you did me. Yeah. There you go. That's the best kind of parenting, right?
Exactly.
Impacted me. Yeah.
Yep.
I had to cancel my plans for you.
Yep. Yeah. And then cancel them again, and then cancel them again, and hopefully you guys get to go.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes. Hoping, yes, this is our year.
Yep.
I mean, maybe he needs to go with you. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't leave me.
Yeah, maybe. He's like, wait a second. Every time you try this, I'm going to conveniently fracture another bone.
All down in the yard.
That's right.
Yep.
The vacation you want to take. I'll make the next one, we'll break an arm,
Yep.
Let's
keep doing this. I got more bones.
Yeah.
It sounds like he does it well, though. I mean, he ain't breaking it. It's shoulder blades going out.
Yep. It's not pinky fingers. No.
Yes, absolutely.
No, he's going to be.
Good for him. I'm proud of him myself.
Dad, he's going to be so smart. He's going to I don't know, master jewel thief or some shit.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
You won't be able to help it. He'll be running the world.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
crazy.
a sweet little thing.
All right. Well, we've got about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
You've watched a few of our episodes, so you
Yes.
know we do superstitions.
I'm sorry.
I need to know, are you superstitious?
No, I know. That's probably very
Oh, I'm
disappointing, but
so
I'm not.
sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
know.
you're not.
I will say I wouldn't file this under like superstitious, but maybe some people would. I do believe in like ghosts.
Right.
Mm,
So like there's sort of, like that's not I'm not superstitious, but I do believe in like supernatural energy, which I feel is like
right.
somewhat superstitious adjacent, sort of,
It is. It is.
it's not exactly, but
Right.
in terms of like, oh, Friday the 13th and oh, a black cat or a broken mirror is 7 years bad luck. I don't really,
Right. And
yeah.
see, and I agree with that. I'm not superstitious, but it fascinates me.
You're a little
Yes,
suspicious.
I'm a
I
little
agree.
stitious. I'm just not super.
Just
Yes.
you're
Yes,
suspicious.
I'm a little stiff. What is that Michael Scott quote from I'm a little stitious.
Yes.
I'm super
I'm
stitious.
not
Little
superstitious.
stitious or yeah.
We are Office fans right here. Yes.
We are Office fans,
I've
big
never
ones.
watched it.
She's never watched it, but I know. She doesn't watch
Oh,
anything. No
oh,
movies. No, I mean nothing. I'll make a joke and I think it's really funny and she just stares at me blankly and I'm like,
yeah.
And then I get threatened
why
with
do I bother?
movie
And then you
night.
get threatened. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are so much fun to watch. You guys are
Oh my
Oh,
just
thank
God.
you.
off
Thank
each
you.
other. It's such a great time. I mean, I love it. It's
Thank
so
you, baby.
yeah.
I'm telling her I'm
It,
gonna have to break up with her. I haven't broke up with her lately,
I
but
know. It's
yeah.
my favorite. We can't be friends
we
anymore.
can't be friends
Yeah. Well,
anymore.
Valentine's Day is coming up, so get out of it before the holiday hits.
There you go.
Singles Awareness Day, folks. Singles
Yep.
awareness.
Yep. We can get back together the next day.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you though on I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but I do believe in energies and
Yeah.
like you can feel the sorrow or the
The creepiness.
excitement that happened in an area just from the energy of it.
Your daughter
Yeah.
with the knives.
Oh, she might actually cut somebody.
Have you not driven by places and she told you somebody died there?
Yeah, that's my other daughter.
Yeah.
Not the knives daughter.
No, well, it's one of your daughters.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
middle daughter, she used to do that all the she's like, oh, when my grandparents died, my grandma passed first a couple months before my grandpa. We stayed at my grandma's house for 3 weeks before she passed, and I
Okay.
was the primary caregiver. Like I took a leave of absence from work.
Man.
My kids
Yeah.
went to school during that time, but otherwise we didn't leave grandma's house. I didn't leave grandma's house for that 3 weeks. So then grandma passes, we go home. It's time to bring grandpa home so that, he
Yep.
can make his transition. So
Yeah.
we go back to grandma's house. We're there for a week. The very first, and then he passes. So the very first thing she says when we go back to the house after my grandpa passed was, Mom, where did grandma go? I'm like, well, grandma went to heaven. And she's like, yeah, but she stayed here. And I was like, wait, anyway, it was just
Yeah.
grandma was still there with her until
Yeah.
grandpa joined her.
Mhm.
And
See, I believe that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff I believe. Like, and I believe like kids and
Kids
animals are
Yep.
sensitive to like those like if a dog will not go in like a I don't know, like an Amityville
Right.
Horror-esque basement, I'm not going like I
Nope.
trust that animal. Know
Yep.
something I don't.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna mess with it. So I am, like I said, that's like the closest not superstitious, but that's like the closest I would get to like
Right.
right.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. We had an earthquake.
you're believing in things that do not have scientific
Yep.
backing.
Uh-huh.
We had an earthquake was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
And our German Shepherd it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, dude, I'm tired. I don't want to go outside. And he's just like barking
Yeah.
and barking. And I let the dogs, okay, fine, go outside. And then I hear them out there just barking and going off. So I run outside. I missed the whole earthquake because I heard the dogs barking. So I ran outside.
Right.
Came back in and Drew got up and he's like, did you feel the earthquake? And I'm like, that's why the dogs are freaking out because they knew it. Ranger felt it before it ever before it ever hit us.
Yeah.
So absolutely, the animal. I mean, I always think of kids as having that because they're open to so many things.
Yes.
I didn't think about the animals.
My middle daughter, that was aside from my grandparents, like we would drive past a building and she'd be like, "Oh, did you know somebody died there?" I'm like, "No, you don't even know that either. You just stop it back there."
Yeah, I have a wonderful ex-boyfriend. He's super sweet, a great guy, but like his mom had died shortly after we broke up, and they had a dog, and he's like, the dog, Rogue was the dog's name, and he said Rogue sat at the door just on in the doorway of his mom's bedroom for a full hour, just sat there and wouldn't move. She wasn't having like any issues yet. And then like she obviously passed, but the dog was just didn't move from that doorway for an entire hour until she passed. It's like the dog knew it was coming before anyone else in the house knew what was going to happen to her. And my ex-boyfriend Jeremy always remarks on that. He's like, that dog knew before any of it. Like, he's like, I thought it was so weird. I couldn't get that dog out of the doorway. I tried to call her, but she wouldn't listen. She just was adamant that she was staying there for whatever reason. And I still get chills when I think about it. I'm like, that dog, the animals, kids, man, I'm telling you, they sense things that adults are not privy to.
Right.
No, we've grown out of it.
We've grown out of it. Exactly. We lost our sort of childlike innocence.
Yes.
Yes.
And the ability to sense the creepiness. All
yes.
Or the positivity.
Or the positivity, yes.
Like she would do that too. She's like, Mom, just something great, something amazing happened here, and everybody was happy.
Okay, great. Yay.
Fantastic. Kill those. I'm okay with that. We can talk about that while you're in the back seat.
Don't talk about the dead folks. Leave that alone.
Yeah, no talking about the dead folks. Yeah.
Leave it. Let's leave it for you're creeping out your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
What else do I have?
Let's hear it.
I want to know your favorite tradition.
Ooh.
My favorite?
that you practice.
Anything in life.
Anything.
Doesn't have to be writer.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I do love, I mean, it's super cliche, but like Christmas, like family Christmas tradition.
That was her.
No, oh, is that yours? Okay, I swear I didn't see that. I swear. I did not see that. But that
might have been on the interview that we lost.
No, it is
was it?
on our very first A Peek Inside Our Minds.
Okay.
Our very first episode.
Sorry. Yeah, I do love Christmas traditions for sure. Like I think it's the most magical time of year. It's where and it's the only time of year everyone is like relatively happy. You know what I mean? Like no one's really an asshole like right around Christmas,
Right. It can't be. Santa gets mad about that.
Yeah. to really, So and especially now that I'm a mom, I would say like more so than I wouldn't have said that before my son, but now I'm like, now Christmas is extra special because of him. And so now I hold those traditions more near and dear to my heart. And like my grandparents have passed away now. And so it's like things that I grew up with, like around the holidays, are extra meaningful now because they're no longer here. And it's like, no, we got to keep making grandma's sugar cookies. You know what I mean?
Introducing your baby to their ancestors.
Yeah. And sort of pass it down. And so I would say, Christmas is where I wouldn't say outside of Christmas, I'm not a super traditional person, I would say. So, but yeah, definitely Christmas.
Okay. And then my last question is, do you have a good luck charm?
A good luck charm. I have a lucky number. I mean, I guess I think that's like probably the closest.
See? It's normal.
What is your lucky number? What is
4? 4.
It's not 13, so shut up.
Listen, 13 is lovely. 4 is a great number, and 1 plus 2 equals 4. So
she already told me that she thinks 4 sucks. She told me that last time. And,
these are fighting words, Kristen.
And actually, it was 7 I didn't like.
Yeah. She doesn't like the lucky number 7, but
So also, Lauren, love the sort of that we're running a superstitions podcast and that your lucky number is 13. I do love the sort of like juxtaposition there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she decided to screw it up. She screwed it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Your luck, your number is 4 and hers is 13, like she said. You got 1 plus 3.
There we go. See, there we go. But yeah,
Well,
no,
I'm over here with nothing, so shut up.
really, you don't even have a chart, like a chart. You have no sort of four-leaf clover in your back pocket. Like, what are we working with?
I got a
There's
debit card in my back pocket because I got to stop at the store and get Super
Lucky
Bowl
debit
shit.
card.
Yeah, the lucky debit card.
Lucky debit card. There you go. Yeah, I swipe it and magic happens. Yeah,
right.
Right. Wow, there you go. No,
Yeah.
what I've got hanging on the corner of my computer is that necklace that you sent me with the ball that's got
solstice. Yeah, that looks like a witch ball. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hanging. Yeah, that's hanging right there. So I see it every
Love
time
that.
I make myself sit down and write something.
I love that. That was super. Yeah, I bought
That was so cool.
I bought her like this. It looks like a little like miniature witch ball. I don't know if you've seen it, Krista, but I was like, I told Carol, I was like, you'll never wear this. I mean, because like I was like, I would never. It's heavy for one, and it's just not really. It's not the kind of neck. I'm like, no, this is meant to be like hung up, like almost as like a what do they call those? Not a sun, like a sun catcher. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's not prismed or but
yeah, but it's awesome as hell.
And that's what they did with witches balls anyway. They all hung in a window or
or like a rear view mirror or something. Like hang it somewhere on a laptop, and
hang it on my computer. Yeah. And just whatever one we did the other day, she started talking about witch balls. I'm like, oh, that's on our cover.
Yeah, that'll be the episode that comes out Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday's episode. We discussed witch balls in there.
That's awesome. You'll have to tie up. Yeah, because I fell deep into that folklore when we were writing Solstice and stuff. I was like, because I wanted to find stuff that I hadn't seen in other like witchy series. I told her small details like that make it bigger, and I'm like, okay, we've seen how many times have we seen the cauldron and the belladonna and the it's like in every witch movie we get
Mandrake and Hemlock. I mean,
yes, exactly. They're everyone, it's like the sort of staples in those series, which I get.
But the cat and the bird. I mean,
exactly. Everyone, they all have a black cat, like a feline, familiar. It's like I was like, why can't they just like? I was like, let's give our girls like hedgehogs. Let's give them
right. Well, and the funny thing is, as far as black cats go, as familiars, birds were more common. A crow or a magpie was a more common familiar, or what they considered when they were going to hang you.
Yeah.
So they didn't care about your cat. They were worried about the crow that lived in the tree outside your house.
Yep.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, let's find something like deep in the folklore that I really haven't seen done. And it was like really the only two things I could find were witch balls and flying ointment is like what they call, which is like, you're using belladonna for it. So again, it's like, okay, we all get it. Like, I love those witch movies, but like every single one has those elements. And so I was like, what can we bring that's like, that's still in the folklore, but that I haven't seen done in popular culture, like in, in any other type, like The Craft or Charmed or any of those things.
Yep.
Ooh, or Practical Magic, which I do love.
Yes. Yep.
I have seen that one.
Oh my God, there's a movie she's seen. I haven't brought up a single movie that she's ever seen, but here you hit it.
Yeah, well, I do love watching that one every Halloween. I'm not a Hocus Pocus fan. I know that would kill.
I've never seen it.
I just never grew up with it, so it doesn't hold. It's not, it has no nostalgia hold over me like other things.
I think The Craft is so much fun. The
Craft is so good. I love Charmed. I love Practical Magic. I love like Witches of East End. Like there's so many good ones that are just, but they all do kind of, like borrow from the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we tried not to do that with what
we did try not to do that. I mean, there is some of that. There's herbs and stuff, but we wanted other elements too, where I'm like, oh, I've never seen this done.
Like the bug guy and the dude with the last name I couldn't remember and all that.
Oh, yes. That was funny. And then it ended up in the dialogue. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What was his name? Or because Carol couldn't remember. This will happen oftentimes when Carol can't remember something, the character all of a sudden.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so like she plays it off as if it's through the character. And I'm like, I literally read that and I went, Carol didn't remember his last name. Like, I mean, it works well for Trixie's dialogue.
I know.
But when I read it, I knew that it was like, oh, Carol doesn't know. So this is why she's trying to play it off that Trixie doesn't know because Carol doesn't know.
Oh, that's awesome. And I knew you would get it. I knew you would get that I forgot that dude's last name. Even
Yep.
I
Yep.
gave him the last name. It was our neighbor's dog back in Iowa. It was
Yeah.
Rigby.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Something Rigby. Something I don't even remember his first name. Donovan. Donovan
Donovan.
Rigby. There we go.
Donovan Rigby. And I was like, I put Donovan and, whatever the hell his last name was. And I put that's in quotes and I sent it. And I'm like, she's going to get that.
Yeah. 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 It
Sure as
was so,
hell.
yeah.
It's good. It's good friend stuff. It's
Yes.
work but it's not work because it's so freaking enjoyable.
Yeah. Yes, I much prefer having those sort of us collaborating together than doing it
Help.
independently. Like it's like it's just, first of all, there's someone to split the workload. Just in
Right.
but there's also like it's just more fun, the camaraderie and sort of the companionship and like, writing and being an author can be a very lonely, very
Sure.
lonely field, right? It's very isolated, very solitary, very so it's fun to get to do it with another person and it just makes it I'm like, God, I just need to stop doing solo stuff and just do merge stuff with Carol, co-author stuff with Carol.
Oh, we've got so many things that we've got. I mean, I've got a list beside my computer of things that we've talked about that we need to write
Yeah.
on at some point because, it's just some fun stuff that's come up that's very
Yes.
story worthy. And I know we can just kick the shit out of it and it's going to be
Exactly.
amazing. Yay!
Yeah. Yes. So yeah,
It's
stay
trick-or-treating.
tuned for content
For
from
sure.
Carol.
For sure. We've got to, yeah. And I'm sorry that your editing is done on the 15th of next month, but I'm excited that
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
stuff's done and your stuff is coming up.
Yes.
And I mean, it's going to hit so good and we're just going to keep it.
Yeah. I love that we just tend to weave in and out,
Yeah, for sure. For
we
sure.
go into like, okay, we're in this for a year and then we weave back out and now we're writing again. And then you go right and I edit and then we weave, that's just kind of been there for the last couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did get one book out last year and
Yeah.
and then we just got busy with other crap. So we didn't get anything else out with our names on it, but
but this year is looking mighty good for legacy.
Yeah, definitely.
Mortal Sins. I think we can kick them both out and get them published.
I think so. I have no doubt.
Well, I know you don't because you're very prolific. You are a machine.
I might be a machine, but you're so good at it. I can't even stand it. I can't. And I'm not trying to suck ass because, we're like, oh, people are watching this and stuff, but you just are. And, I tell you, it's good. It's good. I can't.
If it's too ass sucky, just edit it out.
Okay.
We'll let that fall to Chris.
We want zero ass sucking.
Okay.
Yeah, we want no ass sucking of any kind.
Yeah.
Not even a little for fun, but
whatever.
All right, I'll fix it.
There's no money in it, so just cut that out.
Yeah, that's true. You got to pay me.
Right, definitely.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you on.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. You guys, this has been so fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we should do this again. This is
Absolutely. We will check back in later on this year.
Yes.
I'm glad that was a fist bump and not a punch. Thank you.
Yes, I was going to punch her in our last, but she put it, I'm like, no, I'm not fist bumping you. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because brought up some terrible shit that I wish I didn't know now. So yes, I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool.
You guys have a great weekend. You too. Get Legacy out quick and come back and tell us all about it.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. We'll get Legacy out and then I'll be back to promote it with Carol.
There you go.
Absolutely. All right.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You have a fondness for her.
I have a fondness for you.
I love you too, Kristen.
I don't have a problem saying I love you.
Oh.
It's the
I have a fondness for you too.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, awesome. Okay.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.